Eswatini TV News at 10. I am Natile Sitole alongside Zamanzimanze. First up, here's a look at our headlining stories tonight. Home Affairs Minister Princess Lindiwe says it is not in the ministry's authority to terminate employment for the ministry's officials who have been found to be involved in corruption. Minister for Education Honourable says government has set aside 20 million emalangeni to be utilized in settling deposit fees for orphaned and vulnerable children. Eswatini Communications Commission has donated broadcasting equipment to Eswatini TV. Statement before me, remarks by His Excellency the Right Honourable Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Eswatini, Russell Dlamini, during the occasion of a courtesy call to Dr. Jian Chen, Premier of Taiwan. The Prime Minister wrote, "My dear brother, Premier Chen, thank you for the cordial reception you have extended to me and my delegation. By your kind gesture, this momentous occasion of our meeting already holds a special place in my heart. Thank you, my dear brother. Excellency, as you will recall, His Majesty, this marks my official maiden visit to your country as head of government of the Kingdom of Eswatini, and I am grateful to you for having to set aside your important duties to meet me and my delegation. On the outset, Premier Chen, let me start by congratulating your government for the successful, democratic, free and fair presidential elections conducted by your country in January. Your country enjoys one of the most advanced elections the world has ever seen. Advanced in the sense that ballots are open in the morning and closed in the late afternoon, and on the very same day by dinner time, election results are out. In most parts of the world, such capacity is unheard of, and I can assure you now that this is a true reflection of how the Taiwan government is guided in formulating its laws and procedures on how to operate as a country. As head of government, also in my country and in your same capacity, I certainly regard this occasion as opportune and significant for me to hone my professional capacity, of course learning more from your experiences. More often than not, most heads of government have and still continue to be misunderstood for manipulating executive powers to make governments work for them instead of the other way around. It is in the same capacity and powers held within the offices we both occupy that I am here to gain from your experience as Taiwan head of government. The imperative is to serve and work for my government and to solemnly do so for the collective benefit of my country. Succeeding generations will hand down their own verdict on how we served in government during our time. How we serve and what we do for our governments will have a nationwide significance for our citizens from both a political standpoint and from the standpoint of humanism. And Premier Chen, we will both concur that what I have just intimated speaks directly to good governance. The absence of a good governance can be extremely damaging in many ways, such as government's corrective intervention role, particularly in the maintenance of peace and security, as well as the promotion of economic growth and the creation of the wealth needed to confront poverty and improve human development. My dear brother Chen, it is my solemn belief that if we intend to turn things around for our governments with candor, we have to face the truth and then go to work. Premier Chen, discussions on such issues tend to be interminable, and it is not my wish to keep you waiting for a long time listening to me speak on governance. For everyone and above all, for our two brotherly countries, I hope my visit to your country does not only offer a chance for Eswatini to gain and learn from the spring of goodwill that exists in your vastly developed country, but it also offers another chance to renew our commitment to each other. Bearing in mind the strong and good relations enjoyed by Eswatini and Taiwan, it has been indeed a pleasant journey of more than 5.5 decades, and I am here to tell you that I believe with all my heart that these relations certainly remain a top priority on our side. In conclusion, Premier Chen, I am pleased to inform you that yesterday I had the honor to make a courtesy call to President Tsai, and today I had the same honor with President-elect William Lai. I was excited to meet them, and I can assure you that our discussions certainly guarantee a good future for Taiwan and Eswatini. And in the same vein, Premier Chen, I am certainly optimistic that my visit and interaction with you will of course yield the same for the mutual benefit of our two countries. On another note, in a statement before me, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of the Kingdom of Eswatini presents its compliments to the Embassy of the Russian Federation in Maputo and has the honor to request the Embassy to transmit the following message of goodwill to the people of the Russian Federation. I have it in command by His Majesty King Mswati III, Her Majesty the Queen Mother, the government and the people of the Kingdom of Eswatini to extend our profound congratulations to you, Your Excellency, following your successful election as President of the Russian Federation on 18 March 2024. As the Russian nation gathers to celebrate, reflect on the past achievements and plan for the future, may I also reaffirm Eswatini's desire to further enhance and consolidate the bonds of friendship and cooperation that exist between the two countries. Please accept, Your Excellency, the assurances of my highest consideration and wishes of the absolute best of health, happiness and prosperity for the people of the Russian Federation. The Minister for Home Affairs, Honourable Princess Lindiwe, says that some of the issues regarding the reinstatement of other employees involved in corruption in the ministry are beyond the ministry's control. The Minister made these remarks while presenting the ministry's annual performance report for the 2023-2024 financial year to the ministry's Portfolio Committee in the House of Senate.
Senate's Ministry of Home Affairs Portfolio Committee has expressed concerns over the closure of certain border gates. During the presentation of the ministry's annual performance report, senators questioned the minister, Honourable Princess Lindiwe, about why employees involved in corruption haven't been terminated and why passports are left to rot in offices without being collected.
Litiko litsini kuyi-formalize ukuthi ibe yinto letaba yi-prerequisite before umuntu aregister to avoid letinkinga letinjengalethi.
Lama informal crossings induna iwabuka ukuthi anjani ngobe simele ngazi ukuthi konke lokubi kuqhamuka lapho.
Asibuka sisive lokho ukuthi umuntu agange la ambisele lombiselayo abese umphushela kulenye elitiki.
Mangabe ngifike nga-applyela i-document ngathi ngiyayidzinga ngathi angisayilanza akube ne-penalty noma sengilo 2 rand nje noma ngilo 5 rand.
Siwamonopolize njani lama events esivi ngoba sesibonile ukuthi semakhulu impela aya-attracta in-numbers kakhulu nebamvu labachamuka ngaphandle kwale live. Yini ke ama-services noma ndathi facilities la providekayo for laba bekuhamba to make sure ukuthi batawushiya imali laveni to contribute to umnotho.
Honourable Princess Lindiwe stated that some issues are beyond the ministry's control.
Litiko ke lite lamandla lamakhulu ekuthi lo mbuso elingamsusa. Lokuye netiko lalo liyahlala nje kenjalo belibona ukuthi awu umadimala. Kepha nangabe CSC angakasho ukuthi salasuka lo muntu ayale kude litiko lelingakwenda ngoba vele ucasha lo CSC uphinde ecoshe.
She mentioned that the ministry is actively engaging their counterparts to attempt to open all borders for 24 hours operation. For Eswatini TV News, Sondomlangeni, Parliament.
The Minister of Education and Training, Honourable Nxumalo, has urged head teachers to allow vulnerable children and orphans back in schools. The minister said this during a press conference held at the ministry.
The Honourable Minister of Education and Training, Nxumalo, says the government is worried with the high rate of children not in schools due to not being able to afford deposit. The minister urges head teachers to allow these people back in schools as the government will cover the cost.
It's antocela bo head teacher kuthi labantwana labasemakhaya labaqoshelwe ukuthi bede ema deposit lama offices. Sikhuluma ngebantwana laba setikolweni letikhulu noma e-primary sithatha ngekuthi khona kude imali ebhadalwa abadala. Langabe ikhona imali ledzingwa kubatali kusuke kuvumelene emakomiti labo head teacher lapho-ke bese bayeta abantu benza sicelo etiko name kukhona lokuyiproject laba kwendaba sithatha ngekuthi etikolo letincane it's free kude imali ebhadalwako esibonile lokuthi e-high school baningi labantwana labahanjiswe bo-head teacher ngekuthi kude lama-deposit uthi nge-DPM ne-cabinet bayacela lokuthi labantwana ababuyiselwe etikolweni ikhona imali i-cabinet leyibeke eceleni through DPM lengetulu kwabo 20 million letawenda ukuthi bakhiphe lama-deposit leledzingwa bo-head teacher loko akusho ukuthi kutawendeka yonke iminyaka loko kutawendeka kuvala sisimo sitawucela-ke bo-head teacher lokuthi labantwana babuyiselwe esikolweni babuyisele esikolweni nitawukhumbula ukuthi baka-DPM bacelile ukuthi abayobhalisa labantwana leka-welfare lalabacoshiwe nokuthi bede lama-deposit lama-list-ke latawuphuma lekubo-head teacher sitawa-verifya ngalama-list lababhalise ngawo labantwana kuze kuthi kungakubonakale lokuthi vele kungiko yini.
The regional educational officers and the General Secretary of SNAT were also present at the press conference. The ministry is working towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goal number 4, which aims to have quality education by the year 2030. Reporting is Cindy Swazwane, Linton Gule, Mbabane.
The Minister for Education and Training, Honourable Owen says that the task that will be established by sub-cabinet ministers will help determine the situation at the University of Eswatini. The minister emphasised that the government will address the issue of deposits for orphans and vulnerable children, and those who refuse to admit overseas into classrooms will face consequences. Nxumalo made these remarks while presenting the ministry's annual report for the year 2023-2024 to the ministry's portfolio committee of the House of Senate.
When the Minister for Education, Honourable Owen Nxumalo, presented the annual performance report, several issues were raised by the Portfolio Committee of the House of Senate. Among these issues was the government's plan to address the challenges faced by the University of Eswatini, as well as the issue of lack of teachers in some schools.
Ingabe nadinginga tecala letendeka lapha enyuvesi eMaswati kuvalwe ngabe litiko licabanga ukuthi kwendeke njani
singalicela litiko kanye nendvuna bakhona kusonzela kulapho lekufanele ukuthi baselekelele ngokuthi kuphuthunywe kuyogcwaliswa idoktikhala.
In response, the minister stated that the issue of UNESCO is being addressed. He also clarified that the warning he issued to head teachers regarding chasing of OVC out of class due to lack of deposit was not a threat, but rather a kind reminder that head teachers do not own schools.
Imali uyayifaka e-university. Asesiyohlola ukuthi le mali kusho ukuthi incane yini. Deep letinkinga. Lawo ma-findings, leyo assessment itasikhombisa ukuthi sifake i-consultant noma lawo ma-findings atawukhona nokuthi uphendvuleke lokwenzekako e-university. Ilitiko kungasho ukuthi kumbe begudwa ngimi labo e-teacher. Lokho bengikwenta ngithunywe i-cabinet. Kungabe ukuthi kumbe mhlambe Nxumalo usuthethe sabothishela cha. Ngithunywe i-cabinet, ngithunywe live. Lele bengukhuluma kulabo e-teacher ukuthi asende ntonke taba ukuthi kude umfana locoshiwe abende lama-list ikhona imali esitayigeda yalama deposit kepha akusiyo i-threat kepha nakutaphize kwendeke kuvakale lokuthi labantwana bacoshakele sekutafuna-ke vele kube khona lesikwendako.
The minister also assured senators that the ministry is currently working on resolving allegations that are within the Teaching Service Commission. Eswatini TV News, Sondomlangeni, Parliament.
The Minister for Commerce, Industry and Trade, Mangoba Khumalo, stated that his ministry has successfully passed a number of laws, including the Liquor Act. He emphasized that the Liquor License Act will aid in regulating the sector, particularly in imposing steep penalties for selling alcohol to underage individuals. The minister made these remarks while presenting the annual performance report of 2023-2024 to the Senate Portfolio Committee of his ministry.
When presenting the budget to the ministry's portfolio committee in the House of Senate, the Minister for Commerce, Industry and Trade, Honourable Mangoba Khumalo, stated that the ministry has made tremendous progress in passing laws. He highlighted that the ministry successfully amended the Liquor Licenses Act, although regulations still need to be finalized. The minister emphasized that no license will be granted without the King's consent, and the Act clearly defines the geographic locations where liquor shops should be situated. Senators commended the ministry for its effort in enacting the law, as the future of young people is at stake due to alcohol abuse.
Abalimali nje ukuthi balimala nyalo nakulimala ingqondo ngoba tshona phela kulimata ingqondo yemuntu uyabona lokho ikusasa lalekive liyalimala lama-liquor licenses bese siwabona namakhaya afika njani kanti ke siyabona ukuthi sasukachazela. There was that period ifisha I think people all over and jangali trinzi
Senators applauded the ministry for ensuring that local businesses have access to finance opportunities. They also commended the ministry for securing funding from New Zealand to facilitate ease of doing business. For Eswatini TV News, Sondomlangeni, Parliament.
Following the illegal leakage of Form 5 final examination papers last year, the Minister for Education and Training, Honourable Ngumalo, says all the culprits involved have been apprehended. Ngumalo further highlights the importance of counselling to all students who were directly affected by the incident.
Ofisiwe kunemaphepha lalikhishile. Lenzaba leyo ke vele seba laba bekunene sebavele batholakele. Labo bothishela labo emaphoyisa ke umthetho sovele uthethe indzawo yabo naleso sikolo leso sikeke sasisho noma phela indzaba sesenkantolo.
I would like to thank the Ministry of Education for working jointly with the Eswatini Examinations Council in locating the teachers who illegally leaked the Form 5 examinations papers last year. As I speak, all culprits are in police custody, hence I will not be specific about names until their judgment. As a ministry, we are overly eager to play an important role in counseling all the students who were victims of the Criminal Act so that this does not negatively affect them psychologically.
The Minister for Education and Training, Honourable Ngumalo, has urged the Limco management to engage its employees in order to rectify and resolve the challenges that disrupt the daily operations of the institution. Ngumalo says as a ministry, they did engage with all stakeholders and they resolved that downing tools might not be good for everybody concerned.
Kwafika lamabandla akhala ngetindzaba taseLimco siyileke itolo silitiko kuyobona le management nalama stakeholders nangisho ama stakeholders ngisho lama unions naletisebenzi.
Following reports about an unfavorable working conditions at Limco University, as a ministry, we engaged the institution together with its stakeholders where employees still vouch their grievances, including not renewing contracts of lecturers under unions. Currently, we've assigned the management to meet up with all stakeholders and come up with effective remedies to rectify the situation.
The two Ndimande brothers, who stand accused of having a hand in the murder of Kiernan, aka Forbes, will make their next court appearance on the 9th of April. These are Siabonga and Melusi, who were arrested at Nkwalini. Their matter has been postponed following an application made by their lawyer Sive Ngwenya before Principal Magistrate David Khumalo at the Manzini Magistrate Court on Wednesday.
Principal Crown Counsel Macebo Nxumalo has told the court that the Kingdom of Eswatini is taking the matter of Siabonga and Melusi Ndimande's extradition seriously, and it is giving it the attention it deserves. Nxumalo says the Crown is ready to argue the matter. However, the defense still needs time.
That he requests some time, Lordship, to look on the papers, Lordship, as they are bulky. He is intending to instruct senior counsel, Lordship, outside the country, who will advise whether to oppose or not, Lordship. That process, Lordship, needs more time, Lordship, on the part of the legal representative for the respondent, Lordship. Your Lordship, he requested that the matter be postponed by 2 weeks, Your Lordship.
Defense Counsel Sive Ngwenya has told the court that his clients have instructed him that they want to engage senior counsel.
I did have a brief communication with my client's worship, who made an indication of instructing specific counsel in this matter. That is Your Worship, Advocate Dr. Mabila and Advocate J. House, Senior Counsel, which we need to furnish with a proper and comprehensive brief, Your Worship. We are amenable to the postponement and we are not opposed to them, as my learned friend has already alluded and was submitted before this Honourable Court. Yes. Then on the issue, Your Worship, of the extension of the rule on the exhibit, we've got no opposition to that, Your Worship. The court can accordingly make that order for extension with respect, Your Worship.
The Crown has postponed this matter to the 9th of April, where the defense will state whether it is opposing the extradition application or not. This matter is before Principal Magistrate David Khumalo. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosi Mavimbela with Temba Shabangu, Manzini.
The Eswatini Communications Commission has donated broadcasting equipment to Eswatini TV. As the Com's Chief Executive, Vilawempi Dlamini, says it is part of the mandate to support the growth of the broadcasting sector, as highlighted in Eskom's founding act, the Eswatini Communications Act of 2013.
The mandate of the Eswatini Communications Commission is to support the growth of the broadcasting sector, as highlighted in Eskom's founding act, the Eswatini Communications Act of 2013. That's according to the Chief Executive of Isom, Vilawempi Dlamini, when handing over equipment to Eswatini TV.
The gesture being extended by the Commission today is but a step in the right direction towards addressing the challenge highlighted. The catalogue of equipment being handed over to Eswatini TV includes television sets, cameras, production switches, professional recorders, studio monitors. I wish to indicate that this is not the first batch of equipment that the Commission has assisted the station with. I should say that the Commission is quite pleased to note the improvements in the station's on-air products and program offerings as observed lately, which is a positive indication that the previous support from the Commission has been put to good use and has contributed in improving Eswatini TV's current situation. With this new equipment that the Commission is offering to the station today, we are very optimistic that the station's program offering will continue to improve. Evidence of the anticipated improvement will be more diversity in program genres, increase in local content and programs created to meet the needs of the diverse audiences such as youth, women, and people living with disabilities.
When receiving the equipment, Eswatini TV's Chief Executive Officer Mlamuli Dlamini applauded Isom for supporting the authority in its endeavor to broadcast local content.
We came up with innovative ways to use i-facility lesinayo singumsakazo lencanyana nje. Sabuka ukuthi singayisebenzisa to actually produce tinhlelo letingadzingi very high complex and sophisticated studios. So present idea kuwe ngozi nelibandla lakho and kwaba ngokuthi sinayo le facilities eyishoda nge-equipment sesilapha la sikhona khona lamuhla. Siyabonga njengosi for hearing us out and also the positive response.
Isom beseech Eswatini TV to utilize the equipment for the betterment of Emaswati, especially young people. For Eswatini TV News, I'm LinkedIn Gule Babani.
And now let's have a look at our financial indicators.
Standard Bank. It can be.
And moving on to sports, Eswatini Football Association President Peter Smelane says the association has started processes of bringing beach soccer games in the country, which at the moment is played by a majority of countries in the region. Smelane believes that in the next 2 years, the country will be taking part in international competitions. Smelane was speaking to Eswatini TV Sports in Babani.
Beach soccer is one of the football games under FIFA that is gaining momentum. Proof to that is that even African countries, especially under the Southern Africa region, there is a competition like beach soccer that takes place annually.
Nanathi nje silive njoba yaqhubeka vele kulamanye ama countries.
According to Eswatini Football Association President Peter Smelane, he says the local football fraternity is already considering to have the sport in the country sooner than expected. The idea is already being discussed at executive level, where the country will use the advantage of neighboring countries who are already advanced in the sport to finally have an artificial facility for the sport. Smelane says the next move will then be to also convince local clubs to buy into the idea.
Kufuneka sisente sure ukuthi the clubs abane interest in beach football abone ibenefit ukuthi uma ne beach football itsini.
Part of FIFA recommendation is to ensure that all sporting games under the World Football Governing Board, sporting games like beach soccer and futsal, are played everywhere. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, pictures sourced from Kosafa.
And with that, it's a wrap up. Next is an update from myself and the team, and thanks for your company. Take care.